In light of the tragic fires in Los Angeles, one of the main things I wanted to point out is how to essentially understand your homeowner's insurance policy. When it comes to the homeowner's insurance policy, it's very important to know all the different provisions that you have on your homeowner's insurance policy. And so I'm gonna walk you through the key factors of what those provisions are and essentially how they work. The first is what's called the dwelling unit limit coverage. If you think about the home, that's essentially the actual property that is on the land that you own. So when you look at your homeowner's insurance, it will have what's called a dwelling unit limit. So that is essentially saying, like, if your house were to go down, if your house were to fall apart, this is the amount of money that they would provide you up to essentially rebuild your home. Also, it's very important to figure out what's the cost for you to rebuild your home. So that way you can make sure that if the cost to rebuild your home is $600,000, your dwelling unit limit is at least $600,000 as well. So that way if something happens, you can completely rebuild your home. The next thing to understand and have a good understanding on your homeowner's insurance policy is what's called your other structures limit. So your other structures limit is essentially the limit to rebuild other structures on your home. So that could be something that is not directly attached to your dwelling unit. And that could be things like your garage. The third thing to know and the third thing to understand on your homeowner's insurance property is essentially what's called the loss of use limit. So what the loss of use limit is, if you weren't able to stay in your home or you had to evacuate and you were not able to live there anymore, they essentially provide you with an amount of money to stay in a hotel, to eat, and then also just to make sure that you're able to stay somewhere while your home is being rebuilt. And the last thing to know is called personal property limit. So with your personal property limit is essentially all the items that are in your home. So that could be your couches, your TVs, your computers, everything that's in your home, it essentially adds up and it's a number. So what they'll do on your homeowner's insurance is they will give you a set limit to say, hey, if you lost your home and everything was gone inside of that home, this is the max number that they would give you to essentially replace those items in your home. If you have questions or you would like to review your homeowner's insurance policy, definitely feel free to reach out to us at Black Lines Financial. We'll be able to look into that, have some guidance for you. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out and we're happy to help.